Guys, are you sick of people talking about The Last Jedi?
Oh boy, me too.
It's months in, Solo's around the corner, and we're still talking about this movie. That's a success in its own right, is it not, John?
Oh, that's you want your name in people's mouths, G.
Maybe this will be the last time we talk about The Last Jedi. You know what? When Screen Junkies doesn't honest trailers for The Last Jedi, you gotta check it out. They have opinions on it.
Required viewing.
Speaking of which, Patron of the Day shout out for none other than our Australian gentleman, Kent McKnight.
Kent.
Because we know he loved The Last Jedi.
Very much about it. Very enthusiastic.
You ready, Jay?
I'm always ready, G. Can't wait to see how you destroy The Last Jedi.
Damn. This is gonna be good.
I'm nervous about this a little bit.
In a polarized world, the next installment of the franchise, all about balance and non-attachment, will be worshipped, hated, and obsessed over until it's not even fun to talk about anymore.
Yep. That's exactly what we're talking
You know
about.
Star Wars fans by now. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Forget the love letter to the originals that was
boy.
The Force Awakens, because Episode 8 subverts everything you've come to expect, making it the worst one ever. Aw, who invited the original honest trailer voice back? Are you really gonna do the all ones
cool.
are better / new ones are better thing we did with The Force Awakens?
The only way to talk about Star Wars now is in absolutes, so yes.
Kinda Sithy of you, but fine. Last Jedi, a refreshing update to a predictable formula.
That spits in the face of everything you once loved.
Whiner, traitor. Meet a new class of heroes coming into their own, like Rey, who after being called by Luke's lightsaber, is called by the Jedi text, called by a big wet hole, and called by her greatest frenemy.
Yet still gets zero answers to any of her questions.
I thought I'd find answers here. I was wrong.
Poe, who grows from a hotshot sexy pilot,
To a treasonous failure with more blood on his hands than the Empire.
First Order,
Same difference.
and Finn, who went from a deserter running away from the war.
To a deserter running away from the war.
With the help of newcomer Rose, he'll learn to put the greater good above himself.
Thanks to a pointless side quest to Casino Royale.
Because how dare they spend 15 minutes connecting the action to a larger theme?
The larger theme being, is it possible to miss pod racing? I didn't think so, but here we are.
But forget about the butthurt fanboys who are just mad the movie isn't closer to the one they wrote in their heads.
Hey,
Because there's still all the old favorites like Leia, a battle-hardened general trying to keep the spark of hope alive.
and she's in a coma,
Chewbacca,
who gets nothing to do,
and Luke Skywalker.
who after sad old Han and sad old Leia really drives home how your heroes are all sad and old now.
He's turned his back on the franchise after watching the prequels.
Legacy of
And not even reruns of A New Hope can change his mind.
It was a cheap movie.
Because what Star Wars fans really needed was to see their idol throw his lightsaber away like it was some kind of joke. And Star Wars is not a joke to me.
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about.
Ryan Johnson ruined my childhood like he ruined the laws of space battle.
There are no laws to space battle.
There should be.
Luke isn't the only Skywalker who has issues with the franchise. Kylo Ren is back, and he's demanding a full reboot.
When he doesn't look like he's about to cry, which is always.
Watch as he ditches
That's
the
why we
Vader
love him.
fanboy act, the Mighty Duck mask, and his shirt. Babes.
Boo! Hey, you distracted me on purpose.
Too late. Moving on. Get ready for truly unexpected answers to the puzzles of Episode 7.
That can only be answered by asking, what are the most disappointing answers to the puzzles of Episode 7?
Like who are Rey's parents?
Nobody.
Who is Snoke?
Some dead guy.
And how did Maz Kanata get Luke's lightsaber?
It doesn't matter, and you're stupid for asking.
That after all the hours of speculation and analysis was genuinely exhilarating. Whoa. From a certain point of viewing each other.
Yeah, we're both pretty big Star Wars nerds, huh?
So gear up for the most divisive Star Wars film ever made.
Where Ryan Johnson either doesn't understand the lore,
Or he made the first Star Wars movie that lives up to the values it preaches, instead of endorsing royal bloodlines and reckless aggression.
okay, enough division. Let's say our favorite things about it on the count of 3.
1, 2, 3.
That was gonna be
Right
good.
now,
Team
team
up
up
to
to fight the
fight
patrolling
the
but don't let him look with a stick. Porgs. Wait, really?
Yeah, I'll own it. Okay, now, least favorite.
Although not telling anyone her plan.
I get knocking Poe down a peg, but come on. They're taking shuttles to a fort. Why make everyone think they're gonna die?
I can't argue with that,
Yeah,
though I'm sure
yeah,
people
true that.
will.
Should we do this again for Solo?
Nah.
I'm not gonna see that crap.
Story.
Half the Star Wars fan base.
Salt.
Blu-ray.
Luke Teat Milk.
Blu-ray.
Finn the human.
I've been killed
Finn the
by
human.
rose on the brain.
Kai So serious.
Nope.
Nerf herder.
Short round.
Pew.
Brienne of Darth.
Hugs
Ten.
to be you.
Ouch.
And redemption for Star Wars Kid.
Yeah.
Star Wars, the last one you'll pay to see.
Until the next one comes
Ouch.
out.
Maybe. It is time for my fandom to end.
Did you hear JJ finish the script for episode 9?
My fandom is back.
Want more Star Wars stuff? Click the box on the left as we dive deeper into our serious questions for The Last Jedi.
God.
Oh,
or click the
man.
box on the right to watch us make FN218 play with puppies. What the cuss? Broccoli,
watch that.
my mortal enemy. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. The first Jedi Temple was in Staplehurst, Nebraska.
Well, yeah, they've covered everything we've talked about, that you've talked about with all your friends.
All the arguments.
All the arguments, they did it all. And that's why I really love this Honest trailer, because they got back the OG. I'm pretty sure that is the actual OG voice, the
Sounds
older
like it.
voice of the Honest trailer. I like the approach of having both arguments presented at once in this Honest trailer, because I'm sure everyone just expected this Honest trailer to come in and just tear this movie a new one.
Yeah.
So they do that while also saying, well, here's what's good, like having both arguments presented, because this film is so divisive that this was a really interesting take for them to do an Honest trailer.
Well, it highlights the fact that it's divisive because it made specific choices with
Yeah.
things, some of which were pretty good and some of which were pretty bad. And I love that they came together at the end and did the say your favorite and your least favorite stuff at the same time. Like,
Yeah, the things that were all in unison on, but then
Yeah.
also the things that were like, well, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Because there's so many things that I've loved that people hate. This was just a really cool and unique approach to it. I really like how Honest trailers have been mixing it up a lot. You
Yeah.
know, like they'd had their every Wes Anderson movie Honest trailer last week, and then they do this where they have two Honest trailer voices coming in and presenting both arguments, which makes it the ultimate Honest trailer. Because for a film like this, you kind of have to present both sides of the argument because of how divisive it is.
and how huge it is. And yeah, I feel like they have been stepping up because they've always had good points on this show, but I feel like the last couple I've seen especially have been like pretty solid breakdowns of these movies.
It's more like film school stuff.
yeah, and I appreciate them for that. You get your little education while you're laughing your buns off.
Kent McKnight, got to give you a shout out here, buddy, because I remember when we talked about The Last Jedi, you were like, man, this is the best movie ever. That's what you said.
Kent McKnight!
He hated the hell out of this
He's
film.
not a fan.
He's definitely old voice Honest trailer
Old
guy
voice.
when it comes to this movie, man. But Kent, you know what? I think the problem is you're just not open to having a heart full of love. It sounds like to me that you just wanted to fit in with the cool group, because that's the total vibe you give off.
Think for yourself,
Be
man.
cool. You just gotta think for yourself for a change. Stop just taking everyone else's opinions.
Yeah, take our opinion.
You're Australian, man. Quit trying to sound like every whiny American out here, dude. It's not cool to be that. We like you for your humble spirit. You like that new Star Trek show? you could like The Last Jedi too. It's okay.
Don't be embarrassed, all right? We got your back.
I'm sorry, I just hate it when people disagree with me. I think films are objective. And
People can't possibly truly disagree with you. They're just in denial.
that's the vibe Kent really gives off. I think what you need is therapy, Kent.
Star Wars therapy.
This is what The Last Jedi has taught me, that everyone who doesn't like it, especially you, just needs to go to therapy.
They're seriously emotionally disturbed, and there's work you can do on them.
Because everyone who goes to therapy is more open-minded to The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
So get some counseling, and maybe we'll give you another shout-out to make up for this weird-ass one down the road. Now, you can have your own opinion. We will see you on the Google Hangout this week, buddy. You can subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification bell to get notified when a video of ours is up. And we'll catch you on the flippity flip.